Other than that, take a snapshot of the points you would like to make, critique, please. Let's talk.
Dave, can I just ask, that stock holding versus service level, is there some math you can run on that in your own business? Because yeah, that it seems complex, and you said it does differ between industries. Is there a resource that we can have a look at that?
Yes,
Because
so if you go
it's
in,
always a difficult conversation when sales are saying, can we just keep more stock? And this is very valuable in showing how much more stock we would need in order to increase service level by a percentage, for instance.
so it all goes around your return on investment. Okay, if we remember what I said earlier, inventory can either be an asset or it can be a liability. If you're holding too much stock, it's holding up cash flow. So one of the measures that you can talk through is availability of cash or cash flow, and basically is how fast are you turning over your cash, and is your business impacted negatively in terms of purchasing raw materials because money's tied up in stock, and that can represent itself in multiple ways. But an example is you have to go to the banks, or you have to increase your borrowings, or your, in simple terms, your overdraft that your business has with the bank, and then you're paying interest. So that could be a measure. In terms of determining where your optimal stock level is, that is relative to your current sales. Okay, what are you satisfying in terms of your current sales? And then what is the gap between your current sales and your targeted sales service level? And how does that fit into your strategy? Okay, I know I'm talking very broadly, Aubrey, but unless I understand specifics, it's very difficult to get to give a specific answer. But what you can do is you can, if you look at within your industry, looking at general, at various measures and consolidating those measures into a series of concise indicators. So, for example, is your company's cash flow fluid? Okay, is your company fluid? What is your level of borrowings? What is your percentage stock holding versus sales? Okay, and you can do trends, because trends are very important. So you can pick up trending around those different measures in terms of your sales, and you can pick up relationships.
Okay, I do understand. And then
okay, you're much clearer now, by the way.
Yes, I had to restart my computer a few times, but it seems okay now.
Cool. Oh, that's great. So yes, so there's, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, and then you mentioned 98% as a target for service level. Is that is that a bare minimum, or is that, if you're achieving that, it's really good?
So there used to be a time where 50% was good. Okay, and I'm not being facetious. If you go back to the 1970s, 1980s, 50s to 60% customer service level was regarded as the accepted norm. Now, if you want to be competitive in today's day and age, you need to target 98% customer service level.
Okay.
If you look at your, sorry, ask.
Sorry, when you say customer service level, that is whatever you determine to be important to your customer, or is that purely like fulfillment, like that
So
first time on time?
yes, so it's measured as on time and in full. Okay. It's measured in terms of order fulfillment to your customer. Your customer, remember, your customer has an expectation. Okay. If they place an order for 100 items and they want it delivered next week, Tuesday, that is their expectation. And if at the point of order you agree to that, you've made a commitment to your customer to deliver those 100 items by next week, Tuesday. And you now need to make sure that your systems, your internal systems, can achieve that. And we need to understand that our customer has made that commitment to somebody further down the line, that they will deliver to their branches or to the consumers. So when we say we have a 98% a customer service level, that is generally 98% of our orders will be delivered 100% of the time. Okay, it's not 98%, 98% of the time. Because to deliver 100%, 100% of the time is not really possible. Okay, your stock holding needs to be almost infinite. Am I making sense?
Yes, 100%. Thank you very much.
Okay, so it's a balancing act. But if you have a look at, in terms of measures, if you have a look at, and if you've got a calculator on your cell phone, you can just do the calculation very quickly. A customer service level of 98% of the time, measured as 98%, 100% of your orders, then it's a true 98%. But multiply 98% by 98%, and you come out at about a customer service level of about 94 to 95%. That becomes your true customer service level. If you do that, you understand what I'm saying to you. And the same is in manufacturing environments. There's a world-class measure called OEE, overall equipment effectiveness. And it can be used in terms of your systems, where you multiply your availability by your productivity, by your quality level. And if you want to achieve a 95%, which sounds quite good, okay? If you multiply 0.95 by 0.95 by 0.95, do that calculation and you'll be shocked at where your customer service level comes out. And that's how we as organizations drive to optimal performance. If we put those measures into place, and then we create the structures and the infrastructure to support those measures, because it doesn't help putting pie in the sky targets out there and not putting the systems in place to support them. You're setting yourself up for failure. Lesoko, have you any questions on your side?
No questions, Dave.